What's up, everybody? I'm Brendan. I'm a full stack engineer based in Brooklyn, New York, and today I'm going to be walking you through the solution for NearMe2. Now, you might be wondering what's the difference between NearMe1 and NearMe2? Well, remember NearMe1, we had hard-coded data in our controller and kind of passed that onto the view. We're not going to be doing that anymore. We're actually going to be grabbing data from an external source, an external API, bringing that in and then passing it along to our view. We're also going to be using some helper functions, and those are the key concepts for this project. So let us get into it. Alrighty. So I've already got some stuff open here, but you can ignore that for now. Let me show you the finished product here. Okay, so it's Google Maps. You notice that there's way more markers on the map this time. We're still in New York, so don't worry. You're also going to notice a fundamental difference, and this is what we're going to be building out. You'll notice when you click on a pin, this information bubble pops up, and there's actually a link now. Instead of just the name of the marker, there's a link, and it's actually linking to that particular place's Wikipedia page. So this one's for Chelsea Market, and we are actually going to be using helper functions to construct these links. We'll touch on that a little later, though. Let us start building. Okay, so step one. Rather than hard code the map markers in the controller, let's write a service to fetch them from a real API. Wikipedia has added latitude, longitude coordinates to several of their articles about places and landmarks. The Wikipedia Geodata API returns a JSON object containing an array of Wikipedia articles near a given point. In this case, the latitude and longitude is this, aka New York City. In js/services/places.js, create a new service named places. So let us do that. New folder, services. File in that folder, places.js. Open that up and let us start building our service. app.factory. Oh. Places. Okay. And let's include the HTTP dependency as well as that function and pass in the HTTP dependency so we can use it. HTTP. Now notice step 3. Use HTTP to get places data from this link. Use http.jsonp instead of http.get. Why are we doing this? Well, according to the Wikipedia API documentation, we're not supposed to use .get, we have to use .jsonp. It's just a way of grabbing data, and you'll just have to go with me here. When you kind of start digging into other APIs, you'll notice that some use .get, some use .jsonp. It just depends on the API. So I'm going to copy this link. .jsonp link. And upon success, turn that data. Otherwise, catch the errors. Oh, shoot, I forgot. Cool. And let's actually look at the data here. Okay, so this is raw, and I have a plugin that kind of parses it nice and neat for me. So you'll notice that this is a massive object. Inside this object, there is a key of query pointing to an object with a key of geosearch, and that is pointing to an array, and this is what we're going to eventually be using to populate our map. So these are a bunch of locations, basically. So that you got a title, and you also have the latitude and longitude, and we'll be using the latitude and longitude to place markers on maps. We'll also be using the title to create links so that when you click on a particular marker, we'll have a link constructed inside that information bubble that points to a particular page on Wikipedia. Okay? So let's go back here. Okay, cool. So our places service is built. And now we just have to include it as a script. And notice I have already kind of added this stuff here, but make sure you're copying and pasting line 38. All right, now in the controller, delete scope.mapMarkers. Delete scope.mapMarkers. Done. That was easy. Step 2 is done. Step 3, in its place, use the places service to fetch marker data from the Wikipedia API. Create a new file, js/vendor/helpers.js. Copy all the code from this JavaScript file and paste it into your js/vendor-helper.js file. Then include it as a new script. Okay. So go into vendor and new file, helpers.js. Let me see. I'll show you what this code looks like. So let's copy and paste this first. Helpers, paste, save. All right, so notice what this function does. Geodata to markers. So we pass in the data that we get back from that JSON P HTTP request, and we say grab all of the places, aka grab the array with the key of GeoSearch. Remember that? So with all of these places now, let's construct an object for each one of those elements in that places array. So that's what we're doing here. We say, all right, create this place object and construct it with a key of latitude, longitude, as well as a message. So we grab that data, and then with that appropriate data, we push it to our markers array. And then what do? We return that array of markers with each marker constructed the way we want it to. You'll also notice that there's another function in here, get message. And what do we pass in? The title, right? So get message is defined down here. So we pass in the title, and looks like we're constructing a URL. We're adding the title to this wikipedia.org/wiki/link here. And then what are we returning? So we're constructing a link here with directions to, when clicked, open up in a new tab. That's what this _blank means. And then the href here points to the URL that we constructed. And inside those A tags is the title. So when you click on a particular when you click on a particular marker, you'll see a link, and the link's text will be the name of that place. Okay. Include it as a new script in index.html. So notice line 39, I already have it saved in there. So we'll have access to it anywhere in our project. Add places. Okay, step 2, add places into main controller as a dependency so that it's available to use. So in our controller, let's include it as a dependency. Places. Cool. 3, then use places within the controller to asynchronously fetch the places data from the server and store it into scope.geodata. So scope.geodata. Oh, I'm sorry, what am I doing? So let's use our service. Unsuccessful HTTP fetch. Return that data. Take that data, and on our scope, property of geodata, attach that data. Step 3 is done. Step 4, use the geodata to markers function to format scope.geodata and store that output into scope.mapMarkers like this. So we use that helper function to reconstruct the data the way we want it to, so that it'll work nicely with our leaflet directive. Okay, so we'll save that. And I'm getting some errors already. Let's just open up the console and see what the deal is here. Oh, I have a feeling it has something to do. Yes. Sorry, I forgot to return the data. Remember that you always want to return the data with this service. Boom, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Now it says step 4, in the view, pass map markers into the leaflet directives markers attribute. But if you completed NearMe1, that already happened. So nothing has really changed. All that has changed is that we're grabbing more data, and we're grabbing data from outside of our app. We're no longer hard coding data in our controller. We're using a service to query an API, grab that data, bring it back, put it into our controller attached to our scope so that we'll have access to it in our view, and then passing it to this leaflet directive that we've got from a third party. Okay, so step 4 is done. And step 5 is done. And let's see if things are working. Actually, let me make this full screen here. So Highline Ballroom. We should see a Wikipedia page for the Highline Ballroom. And there we go. Sweet. Well, folks, that is it for NearMe2. We have successfully built our service. We used a new type of request here. We used an HTTP request, but we used the .jsonp method. And we did that because Wikipedia just requires us to use that. And you'll learn, like I said, you'll learn that a lot of these APIs are constructed in different ways, and they're accessed through different methods. So you just kind of have to read the documentation in order to figure out why or how to access data. Yeah, that's basically it for step 2. I will see you for step 3. Bye.